a fire that's burning with no one to light it. I've built up a kingdom on shifting gray sands, with calloused old fingers and tired worn hands. The man in the portraits, he looks just like me, but he's trapped in a life that was never quite free. I've traded my silence for comfort and bread, while the truth was a riot inside of my head. I played every character, followed the script, while the compass I carried was broken and chipped. This is the burden of carrying the ghost, of being the guest while you're playing the host. A lifetime of labor, a lifetime of debt, to a man that I haven't quite finished with yet. It's heavy, the armor, it's hollow, the pride, when you're losing the war that is raging inside. And the shield, while the wounds of the spirit have never been healed. An entrepreneur of a life I don't own, a king in a castle but always alone. They see the success and they see the gray hair, but they don't see the person who's vanishing there. The struggle is quiet, the struggle is deep. It's the secret you tell when the world is asleep. It's the ache in the marrow, the pull of the tide. It's the 50-year itch to just step outside. Step outside. Whoa, so listen closely, the story is long. It starts with a man and a dissonant song, but before we reach the end of the line, I'm reclaiming the pieces that always were mine. Just watch the shadows, watch them grow thin. This is where the struggle finally begins. It didn't come with thunder, it didn't come with rain. It was just a Tuesday afternoon, and I forgot the pain. I was sitting in the quiet in a room I've always known, when the weight of 50 winters simply fell away like stone. My back forgot the tension, my mind forgot the fear, and for a single hour the world was crystal clear. I saw the man I was supposed to be, a shadow on the wall that finally broke free. The oxygen was different, the light was turning gold. I was young for just a moment after years of being old. I tasted the air of a life I hadn't lived, with nothing left to take and nothing left to give. The ache in my bones was a ghost that had fled, and the riot in my spirit was finally put to bed. Just one day of grace, just 1 hour of truth, quality of habit is a heavy, silent thing, and the winter always follows the promise of the spring. I felt the old pattern start to tighten like a glove, the stress and the fatigue and the push and the shove. The clarity was closing like a window in the dark, but I'd already seen it, I had felt the inner spark. Now I'm walking in circles on the ground I used to tread, with the echo of that silence still ringing in my head. It wasn't a delusion, it wasn't just a dream. I touched the very bottom of a deep and silver stream. I'm reaching for the feeling, I'm fighting for the light. I'm trying to remember how to breathe throughout the night. It was the start of the ending, it was the birth of the new. I'm just trying to get back to the person that I knew. Living in the window, yeah. I'm walking through the motions of a day I've lived before. I'm turning all the handles, I'm locking every door. I say the words they used to, I wear the usual face, but I'm a silent traveler in a familiar space. They see me at the table, they see me in the heart, but I'm just a shadow leaning up against the wall. My bags are packed in secret, though they're sitting in my head. I'm dreaming of a morning while I'm lying in this bed. The clock is ticking steady, the world is moving on, but I'm already standing where the yesterday is gone. I'm living in the middle of a long and quiet goodbye, looking at the ceiling, looking at the sky. Yeah, one foot in the garden and one foot out the gate, caught between the person and the pull of something great. Oh yeah, I'm playing out the ending, I'm finishing the part, while the future is a drum beat inside a heavy heart. There's a comfort in the routine, there's a safety in the grave. It's easy just to linger and to throw the hours away. I listen to the stories and I nod at every line, but I'm keeping all the secrets that are strictly solely mine. The tension is a static, a hum beneath the skin, waiting for the moment when the real life can begin. It's a strange and lonely freedom to be present but be gone, to be the silent witness to a slow and steady dawn. I'm waiting for the signal, I'm waiting for the sign, to leave the whole reflection in the life I've left behind. Oh, I'm almost there, I'm almost through. I'm doing all the things that I'm expected to do, but the ghost is leaving, the shadow is thin. Just wait until you see where the story can begin. walls are closing in, the ceiling's dropping low, and there's nowhere left for a tired man to go. The air is getting thin, the shadows start to bleed, and the hunger in my chest is more than I can feed. I've played the part so well, I've worn the mask so tight that I can't tell the morning from the middle of the night. My hands are shaking now, the pen is out of ink. I'm standing on the edge and I'm trying not to think. The safety of the cage is a lie I can't believe, and the only way to breathe is to finally leave. It's the dark night of the soul, the breaking of the line, where the life I tried to build is no longer truly mine. Oh, I'm crashing to my knees on this cold and hollow floor. I can't be the man they wanted, not a second anymore. Let the pillars crumble, let the temple fall away. I'm done with the pretending and the debts I'll never pay. 50 years of gravel, 50 years of stone, building up a monument just to sit there all alone. The stress is like a fever, the tension's like a flood, and the old way is a poison that is running through my blood. I'm terrified of losing every shadow that I know, but I'm more afraid of staying than I am of letting go. It's the silence before the scream, the moment of the tear, the absolute surrender to the thing I used to fear. I'm stripped down to the marrow, I'm naked to the bone, facing every monster that I've ever called my own. Let it break, let it end. I'm not looking for a patch, I'm not looking for a friend. I'm waiting for the wreckage to be washed out by the tide, because something's gotta die to let the rest of me reside. The noise of the world has finally faded. The man in the mirror no longer looks jaded. I've stopped fighting battles that weren't mine to win, and silenced the ghosts that were howling within. The map I was given is torn on the floor. I don't need those tired old paths anymore. It's not in the shout, it's not in the chase, it's finding the truth in a private space. The lock has been turned, the fever has broke. I've stepped from the fire and cleared all the smoke, and for the first time the water is still. I'm standing alone on the crest of the hill. I've made my decision, I've chosen my way, and I'm leaving behind every debt I can't pay. There's a peace in the marrow, a calm in the bone, a kingdom of silence I finally own. Shadows and locking the door. I won't be the person person they knew anymore. They'll ask where I've gone when the morning light breaks, but I'm shedding the burden of others' mistakes. Independence is heavy, the freedom is light. I'm ready to walk through the gate of the night. Don't look for a struggle, don't look for a plea. This isn't a loss, it's a victory. The secret is blooming a seed in the dark, waiting for morning to catch a new spark. I'm at peace, I'm at rest. I've passed every trial, I've finished the test. The story is closing, but the book isn't through. Just watch what a man with a vision can do. The sun is hitting the floorboards at a different angle today, and the shadows of the furniture are pointing another way. I've lived in this museum, dust and statues of the past, but the lease on the pretension has finally run out at last. The keys are on the counter and the mail is in the box. I'm walking through the garden and I'm turning all the locks. My heart is a motor that's finally catching a spark. I'm navigating by a light that's glowing in the dark. I don't need a compass, I don't need a map or a friend. I just need to find where the old road comes to an end. Oh, and I'm opening the gate, I'm stepping off the porch, I'm turning my internal fire into a traveling torch. One foot in front of the other on the gravel and the snow. Oh, the most terrifying freedom that I've ever truly known. I'm leaving the man I was supposed to be behind, with a different kind of future burning in my mind. The neighbors are still sleeping and the streets are quiet and gray. They won't know that the world has changed until the middle of the day. I'm an entrepreneur of a journey with the party of just one, chasing down the horizon and the rising of the sun. Oh, and it's a heavy kind of lightness, it's a shaky kind of grace, to look at the familiar and see a stranger's face. Every mile is a layer that is peeling from my chest. Every mile is a motion toward a much needed rest. I'm not running from a failure, I'm not running from a crime. I'm just reclaiming the remainder of my precious borrowed time. I'm moving now, I'm breathing now. Oh, the ghost is finally truly leaving now. Don't look for the shadow, don't Yeah, I'm headed for the coast. Learning how to be. Phone is buzzing in the pocket of my coat. 100 tiny anchors trying to keep the ship afloat. They're asking where I've gone and when I'm coming back. They're looking for the man who always stayed up on the track, the reliable, the steady, the provider and the friend. But I've reached a place where all those titles have to end. It's a heavy price to pay for a life that's truly mine. To break the expectations and to step across the line. They want the old reflection, they want the comfortable lie, but I'm trading their approval for a piece of open sky. And I'm pushing back the weight of the world today. I got nothing left to give and nothing left to say. Independence is a mountain that is difficult to climb when everyone is begging for a moment of your time. I'm a sovereign of the silence, a king of the unknown, and I'm learning how to stand here entirely alone. Entirely alone. They talk about the man like he's a statue in a park, something fixed and solid, something glowing in the dark. But statues don't have heartbeats and statues don't have dreams, and the perfect life is tearing at the very dusty seams. I'm shedding their opinions like a layer of old dust, replacing all the shoulds with a single simple must. It's not that I don't care, it's not that I'm unkind, it's just that I am leaving the old gravity behind. You can't build a future on a foundation of please. You have to stand up straight even when you're on your knees. Let the phones ring, the world wait. I'm busy renegotiating with my own fate. I'm not the man you knew, I'm not the man you see. I'm just the one who's finally learning how to be. Learning how to be. The road is run out and the engine is still. I'm parked in the shadow of a dark and lonely hill. The silence is a predator, it's hunting for my name, and I'm sitting with the embers of a 50-year-old flame. I used to have a crowd, I used to have a crew, but the more I had of them, the less I had of you. We had too many friends and too much to say, just to keep the terrifying truth at bay. If it's too much to bear, if it's too much to tell, you build yourself a palace that feels just like a hell. So we drink until we forget the shape of the soul, trying to fill up a bottomless hole. I do it to myself, yeah, I know that it's true. Drown in the old life to find something new. It's a bitter kind of medicine, a lonely kind of wine, when you're trying to erase a life that wasn't mine. I'm not as young as I was, and my heart's not in the game of calling out for ghosts who don't even know my name. The bottle is a bandage, but the wound is open wide, and there's nowhere left for a tired man to hide. I'm facing the mirror, I'm facing the glass, waiting for the mirror reflection to finally pass. I don't wanna die, but and the truth. I've cleared the dust of the desert from my throat, and I'm shedding the weight of that heavy winter coat. I'm setting up a stage in the middle of the dark, waiting for a signal, waiting for a spark. I've spent a lifetime pleasing the ghosts of the past, but I found a new frequency, steady and vast. I'm not as young as I was, but the fire is new, and I'm reaching through the static just to find a few of you. If you've ever felt the hunger, if you've ever felt the cage, if you're tired of the script on a cold and lonely stage, if it's too much to bear, if it's too much to tell, I'm ringing a bell from the bottom of the well. So if you feel me, if you understand, if you're still there, won't you raise your hands? This song is for you, and this song is for me, and for everyone we knew who was never truly free. I play it all night till the shadows start to fly underneath the banner of a wide and open sky. I speak to the lonely, the restless, the brave and the weak. I'm an entrepreneur of a digital dream, floating my soul down a silver-lit stream. You don't know my face and you don't know my name, but we're warming our hands at the very same flame. I'm finding my people, I'm finding my tribe, with a sovereign heart and a new kind of vibe. This song's for everyone we ever knew, the ones who stay quiet, the ones who push through. I'm finding my voice in the hollows of the night, preparing the way for a different kind of light. Are you out there? Can you hear the sound? I'm finally standing on my own piece of ground. I'm standing at the border of the day and the night. I've walked every mile that this man had to tread. I've answered the call and I've earned my own bread. I look at his head and I look at his face. He served me with honor, he served me with grace. But the air in this country is starting to thin, and I'm ready for a life that is yet to begin. I'm not running away from a ghost or a lie. I'm just saying thank you and saying goodbye. The entrepreneur of a 50-year dream is stepping across a deep silver stream. I'm standing at the threshold, the door is ajar. I'm following the light of a different star. The man in the mirror is fading away into the soft and the quiet of gray. He's given me everything, he's given his all, but he's finally ready is finally through. Don't look for me here in the places I've been, in the roles that I played or the walls I was in. I'm taking the lessons, I'm taking the pride, but I'm leaving the armor and the secrets inside. The silence is beautiful, the silence is deep, a promise I'm finally ready to keep. The man has finished his final long race to make some room for a different grace. The needle is dragging, the record is slow. There's only one direction left for me to go. Don't be afraid of the quiet you hear. It's just the sound of the world getting clear. I'm stepping through. I'm stepping in. This is where the other half can finally begin.
Like the shadows of decades are drifting away. I'm washing the dust of the road from my skin, letting the warmth of the morning begin. It's a quiet arrival, a soft steady grace to finally look at a familiar space and see it through eyes that are open and clear, without the old static of 50 years fear. It's a delicate science, a holy design to finally align the heart's rhythm with mine. The mirror isn't a wall or a lie, it's a doorway to a wide and an infinite sky. And I'm breathing in the light, I'm breathing in the new, watching the gray turn to a shimmering hue. I'm blooming in the quiet, I'm waking in the sun. The work of the Spirit has finally begun. No more hiding in the cold, no more living in the dark. I'm fanning the embers of a brand new spark. It's the first day of being, the first day of home, under a sky that I finally own. Learning the language of being at ease, of moving like water and swaying like trees. The shoulds and the massive are falling away, replaced by the pulse of a beautiful day. There's a softness and power, a strength in the soul, and the fragments of a lifetime are finally whole. I'm a student of wonder, a seeker of grace, learning to love every line on my face. It's not a destination, it's a sacred steady flow, giving myself the permission to grow, to be tender, to be sovereign, to be vibrant and true in a world that is ancient, in a world that is new. I'm breathing now, I'm blooming now. Oh, the truth of the story is finally showing now. Just watch me unfold. Yeah, watch me unfold. I'm a beginner in a body I've known for so long, learning the notes of a different song. My hands feel new and my steps are unsure, like a traveler finding a wide open door. I'm clumsy and honest, I'm fragile and bold, finding the silver in the stories I told is a strange kind of magic, a beautiful mess, to learn how to breathe in a brand new dress. I'm shedding the iron, I'm wearing the silk, like a hunger that's waking for honey and milk. It's the rudimentary work of the soul to gather the pieces and make them all whole. It's my second spring, it's a late season bloom, clearing the shadows from a quiet old room. I'm a student of softness, a scholar of grace, learning to live in a beautiful space. It's awkward and lovely, it's shaky and true, the oldest of stories, the newest of you. Just watch how the garden can finally grow in the warmth of a sun that I didn't yet know. I'm catching my reflection and a smile breaks through at the person I meet, and so vibrant and new. I'm learning the nuances, the tilt of the head, leaving the man and his armor for dead. There's a wonder in choosing the way that I move, finding a rhythm, finding a groove. It's a long distance race that I've already won by standing right here in the heat of the sun. Don't mind if I stumble, don't mind if I trip. I'm finally tightening my sovereign grip on the wheel of a life that is strictly my own. The most beautiful seas that I've ever yet sown. I'm blooming late, I'm blooming bright, I'm finally equal to the power of life. threshold is crossed and the shadow is thin. I'm wearing the truth on the surface of skin. The pavement feels different, the air is a chill, but the heart in my chest is remarkably still. I'm walking through crowds that I used to evade. No longer a ghost, no longer a shade. The eyes of the strangers are passing me by, under the dome of a wide open sky. It's a terrifying courage, a quiet command, to take up a space where I finally stand. I'm not asking permission, I'm not playing a part, I'm just following the map of a sovereign heart. And I'm out in the light, I'm out in the day, watching the fear of the world melt away. It's the beauty of being, the power of sight, to stand in the sun and be perfectly right. No more hiding in corners, no more living in doubt. This is what being alive is about. I'm visible now, I'm radiant now, with a peaceful and quiet and permanent bride. They might see a stranger, they might see a change, something familiar yet beautifully strange. But I see a woman who's finished the race, with a lifetime of wisdom and a brand new face. The man that they knew is a story that's told in the pages of history, dusty and old. I'm writing the present in a different hand, building a life on a solid new land. It's a revolutionary act just to walk down the street with the rhythm of truth in the soles of my feet. To be seen as I am, not as I was, to exist for no other or greater, because I'm here, I'm home, in a body and spirit I finally own, in the light of day. Yeah, in the light of day. Woo! I spent a lifetime explaining the ghost, playing a part for a cynical host. But the air has grown quiet, the static has cleared, and the judgment I carried has all disappeared. I'm sitting with people who speak in my tongue, a chorus of voices, the old and the young. We don't need the labels, we don't need the law. We've all left our shadows behind at the door. It's a different kind of kinship, a sacred accord, to be seen for the spirit and not for the sword. The man was a fortress, a wall and a shield, but here in the garden the heart is revealed. And I'm standing at the mirror's edge, looking across at a life without hiding, a life without a loss. I'm found in the circle, I'm loved in the light, for the person who finally stepped out of the night. No more drinking to forget or pleasing the crowd, just a name that is whispered and a soul that is proud. I'm seen as I am, I'm known as I feel, in a world that is vibrant and sudden and real. There's a power in numbers, a strength in the small, in the ones who stayed steady and answered the call. They don't look for the him, they don't look for the then, they don't ask for the story to happen again. We're building a future on honesty's ground, where the lost and the weary are finally found. It's a sovereign assembly, a union of grace, looking at truth in a familiar face. It's the end of the exile, the end of the cold, the most beautiful chapters are yet to be told, where the the winter was long. I was singing a shadow of a beautiful song, but the roots have taken, the ground has given way to the emerald green of a permanent day. I'm not looking back at the ghost in the hall. I'm not waiting for pillars or temples to fall. I've built my own kingdom on a foundation of truth, a harvest that's better than the seeds of my youth. It's a quiet dominion, a sacred command to be the architect of the heart and the hand. I'm the author of sunrise, the weaver of light, standing tall in the sun after 50 years night. And I'm in a sovereign bloom. I'm a riot of grace with a peaceful and quiet and permanent face. I'm not a secret, I'm not a mistake. I'm every bold choice that I've had to make. No more asking for error, pleasing the crowd. Just a woman who's vibrant, steady and proud. I'm rooted in spirit, I'm flowing in soul. The fragments of a lifetime are finally whole. Finally whole. There's a power in softness, a strength in the sway of a spirit that's decided to finally stay. I'm an entrepreneur of a life that is free, the most honest version that I'll ever be. The man was the armor, the man was the shield, but the woman is the harvest of the entire field. I'm traveling light now, I'm traveling far, under the glow of a different star. It's the end of the becoming, the start of this, the quietest triumph, the purest of bliss. I'm not a project, I'm not a design. I'm a sovereign life that is strictly solely mine. I'm blooming, I'm here. The vision is steady, the vision is clear. Sovereign bloom, yeah, my sovereign bloom. Sovereign bloom. The suitcase is different, the passport is new. I'm chasing a horizon of shimmering blue. I'm not the traveler I was 50 years along, with a heavy heart and a dissonant song. I'm moving through airports and stations and streets, with a rhythm of grace in the pulses and beats. The world is a map that I'm starting to trace, with a different light on a familiar face. It's a global belonging, a sacred release, to find in the distance a permanent peace. I'm an architect of a life on the move, finding my spirit, finding my groove. And I'm out on the open road, looking ahead at all of the stories that have yet to be said. I'm a sovereign traveler, a citizen of grace, finding a home in every new place. No more hiding in corners or waiting for light. Just a woman who's finally taken her flight. The horizon is calling, the vision is clear. I'm leaving the shadow of fear hustle of cities and the quiet of streets. My career is a bridge that I built with my hands, connecting the dots across oceans and lands. I'm not asking for permission, I'm not playing a part, I'm just following the compass of a sovereign heart. The independence is sweet, the freedom is wide, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. Every border I cross is a layer I shed, every mile is a promise to the person I led. I'm not running from ghosts, I'm not running from pain, I'm just dancing through sunshine and walking through rain. I'm going in the light of a slow and a beautiful dawn. The open road, yeah, my open always a witness, but never the scene. But the glass has been shattered, the curtain is drawn, and the spectator life is finally gone. I'm stepping out now to the center of the floor. I don't need to hide in the wings anymore. It's a professional power, a personal grace, to look at the audience and find my own place. I'm the voice in the silence, the spark in the dark, leaving a sovereign and permanent mark. And I'm taking the center stage, I'm holding the light, after 50 long years of avoiding the side. In every arena, in every field, the truth of the spirit is finally revealed. No more blending in or fade into gray. I got something honest and vital to say. I'm the lead in the story, the heart of the play, walking in sunshine in my own kind of way. Where the digital space is the streets made of stone, I'm claiming the presence that's strictly my own. I'm engaging with life on a different plane, with nothing to lose and a world left to gain. I'm an entrepreneur of the spirit and mind, leaving the timid and fearful behind. There's a joy in the work, there's a pride in the skill of bending the world to a sovereign will. It's not about ego, it's not about fame, it's about finally owning the weight of the name. To be seen as a master, to be heard as a soul. When the fragments looking for a hand to hold, a witness to the stories that I never told. I thought I needed a mirror in someone else's eyes to validate the truth and to cancel out the lies. But the silence has changed, the static has fled, and the hunger for other is finally fed. I'm sitting in the quiet, in the light of the day, with a person who's decided to finally stay. It's a sacred alliance, a private accord, to put down the armor and put down the sword. I'm the seeker, the mountain, the wind, and the sea, finally at home in the presence of me. And I found the deep connection, the union of souls, where the fragments of 50 are finally whole. I'm my own partner, my own truest friend, a love that is steady and won't ever end. No more searching for answers in a stranger's face, just a woman who's found her own permanent place. I'm the one I was waiting for all of these years, through the salt of the ocean and the weight of the fears. I'm kind to the girl who is awakened inside, with nothing to judge and nothing to hide. I'm a sovereign protector, a gentle guide, walking through life with the truth at my side. The man was a shadow, a ghost in the hall, but the woman is the one who answered the call. There's a peace in the marrow, a calm in the bone, in a kingdom of spirit I finally own. It's the end of the long and the end of the chase, the most beautiful lines on a familiar face. I'm not looking for fitting, I'm already the part in the quietest room of a sovereign heart. I'm here all night, the stars in the ceiling are starting to align. The deep connection, yeah, my deep connection. I see you standing in the hallway of the grave, practicing the lines you're expected to say. I know the weight of the armor you wear, and the silence that's thicker than the winter air. I know the ghost that is sitting at your feet, and the bitter taste of a hollow retreat. You think the walls are a permanent thing, but they're only as strong as the fear that you bring. It's a terrifying distance, 1,000-mile stride between the person you show and the person inside. But the lock isn't broken, the boat isn't fast, the shadow is only a trick of the past. And I'm standing here at the open door, telling you there's so much more beyond the shoulds and the 50-year night. There's a world that is waiting in the softest light. You don't have to shatter, you don't have to fall, you just have to answer the sovereign call. The threshold is waiting, the spirit is free, and there's room on the horizon for you and for me. For you and for me. I'm not a miracle, I'm not a mistake, I'm just the result of a choice I had to make. I washed off the dust and I stepped through the glass, and I watched the old version of him finally pass. It's not as cold as they told you it'd be, to finally stand in the truth and be free. The second spring is a beautiful thing, no matter the season the calendar may bring. Don't wait for a sign or a permission slip, just loosen the white knuckle sovereign grip on a life that was written by a stranger's hand, and plant your own flag on a brand new land. The door is open, the light is on, the fear of the ending is finally gone. The open door, yeah, my open door. The needle, the needle is moving toward the end of the track. There's no more reason for looking back. The weight of the name is a story I've told. Now I'm wrapped in a silence that's better than gold. I'm sitting in the sunlight, I'm breathing the air, with nothing to prove and nothing to spare. The man who was me is a memory now, a ghost with a peaceful and quieted brow. It's the simplest triumph, the deepest breaths, 1,000 small lives and 1,000 small deaths. I'm not a rebellion, I'm not a grand scheme, I'm just the result of a sovereign dream. And I'm singing my sovereign anthem low, in a rhythm that only the spirit can know. It's the sound of the morning, the pulse of the day, the beautiful fact that I'm choosing to stay. No more waiting for permission or pleasing the crowd. The truth is a whisper that's steady and proud. I'm whole in the center, I'm light in the soul. The fragments of 50 are finally whole. Traveler home from a 50-year night. The world is a window, the world is a door, and I don't have to hide in the wings anymore. I'm a woman, a spirit, a woman of grace, with a lifetime of wisdom on a familiar face. The journey is over, the life has begun, under the glow of a permanent sun. It's not a destination, steady flow, giving myself the permission to grow, to be tender, to be sovereign, to be vibrant.